guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to be continuing to look at a scenario where civilization starts over. The map Godzilla. Oh, here's our map, right? And I did a lot of off-screen stuff. As you can see here, I added other layers. So there's now economic alliances, military alliances, economic and military alliances. I haven't finished the provinces yet. I finished major cities. I have to talk about this, and I've made defensive lines. Basically, what a wonder city is by the way, no country has these right now. Like, if you can see if I turn on the layer, nothing happens because the world is too early in time to have wonder cities. Like, those are too advanced for them, so there are no wonder cities currently. Now, I'm going to show you every layer. So, by the way, I mapped out the Suez Canal. It's right here. You can see it. So here we go. If we open economic alliances, you can see that we have this square economic alliance, and we have this economic alliance over here. Then over here, with military alliances, the only military alliance on Earth is this anti-purple team alliance. That is right here. Oh, by the way, just to show what's about to happen, right here. The farmer team is going to join this alliance. And this is scaring the purple team because they're scared of losing their power. So now this is the military alliance that exists. Anti-purple team is the circle, and then this is the economic and military alliance, which is both economy and military at the same time. So let's get this color because here it is. Yeah, I got the color now. So right now, as you guys can probably tell from what's happening right now, the purple team is not too liked by Earth right now. Well, they're not enjoying that fact. Yeah, there it is. So the purple team is partially hated by the world. So everyone is starting to sever their ties. And okay, so sorry, I didn't mean to trail off. Continuing, we have major cities. So these are the big cities. As you can see, Spain is incredibly developed, and Rome is also incredibly developed. Russia, I think, has the most major cities. And if you're wondering why this is happening, like, what is this? I'll tell you. This means that the two cities are, like, binded together. Okay, so these two cities are, like, bound together, and that's the case with a couple other cities, like these two cities and these two cities. If I can find another one, I'll show you guys. But right here, these two cities are also binded. So there are binded cities and there are major cities overall. Wonder city, again, no one has that yet. But when I do create one cities, just to show you guys what it will look like, basically they're gonna look like this. Like, you see the capital city? They're going to be much larger than capital cities. They're gonna look like this. So that's what a wonder city is. So now the last one I made is defensive lines. And if you guys are wondering why these are different colors, here's what the differences are. These two and this one up here are solid blocked off lines. This color that you can see here, and you can also see, over here, is optional. Like, they close it off when they need to. This is a, like, absolutely, this is a naval block. So as you can see here, if they need, the purple team has this precaution defensive line. There's also one here that can be turned off and on, one over here too, and this is the only naval blockade, I believe. So that is all for the other layers I made. So now getting into the episode, we see that the purple team is going to collapse. You might be asking, what do you mean collapse? What I mean by collapse is that their country is going to just stop functioning. And what's going to happen as a result of that is that, like, not stop functioning, but there's so much hate and anger inside this country that at this point there's no return. And in Brittany, this large rebellion starts to rise up, and can you guess who's funding it? These three countries right here, this alliance. Just remember that the Farmers Union is in this economic alliance. I'll fix it in a second. Anyway, so purple team has kind of been on alert because recently they've been having rebellions, so they're being very careful. But now that this country has met up with this other country. This other country is actually gonna let them stage in like their rebellion through their lands, and they will always be harboring the leaders and people that like this rebellion in their country if this ever fails. So continuing this is again getting out of hand like all the Purple Team rebellions do. And at this point, the Purple Team is in a very tough spot and they're panicking. Everyone in the government is panicking. As soon as they reach Spain, their army will be buffed yet again because now there's a lot of stuff flowing into them. They have all from Africa. They have aid from Africa. West Africa, I mean. They have aid from West Africa, Spain, and the farmer country. So the Purple Team is not taking this well, and they're falling apart. And well, they are going to quickly decide to sue for peace because, oh wait, I forgot to turn on major cities. I'm gonna start turning on major cities for wars, and I'm also gonna turn on defensive lines. So you can see here that a few major cities have been captured, but the Purple Team is actually going to start to make a bit of a pushback right here, and the front will stabilize and the war will end. So looking at this peace treaty, we can see that this team has gotten acquired of land, and well, this is great for them because now they're on a good spots in the world. Let me place down their capital for you guys real quick. I'm gonna slap it down. So now there is a new nation with us. If I turn off major cities, you can see what it looks like. If you didn't notice yet, I'm going to mention that they actually gave a coast to the Farmers Union because of how much the Farmers Union helped them in the war. They just wanted to show their gratitude and their happiness towards them, so that's going to happen. Looking over here at the British Isles, where nothing is ever in a good situation, because previously all that has happened on the British Isles is a war between the Dutch and the Celts. I want to call them Celts. What should I call them? I have no idea. Anyway, a rebellion is going to form, and a rebellion is going to form up. Obviously, this rebellion is going to be funded by this. Personally, I'm gonna try everything in my power not to be biased in this series, but I literally do not like this Celt country. I'm gonna be totally serious with you guys. I'm gonna try not to bias myself too much though, okay? So this is not turning out well. Yet again, rebellions right now are actually pretty nice, living up pretty well, and boom, a war will break out between the Dutch country and between the Celts. So immediately as this happens, you guys will see that there is a defensive line all over here. This is a Dutch defensive line. There's no defenses on the other side. Like, I'm sure there's troops on the border because they don't like each other, but it's not that strong. So anyway, the Dutch will be able to grind into the country very slowly. I'm gonna turn off the defensive line, it's a little annoying. So they will be able to slightly start to just grind into the country and stop off because that's a little too much and it's costing them way too many troops. But because of this, the Celts, I have to shrink the brush size, the Celts are going to make a very, very, very tiny incursion here, but it's going to stop immediately after they straighten this line up. Okay, because this defensive line is here, and that defensive line is pretty strong. Anyway, the Dutch are actually very navally dominant, so what they're gonna do is instead of blocking off and making a defensive line like you would expect, instead what they do is start invading navally. And also what they do is send troops behind to attack this base of operations over here. That doesn't work out because after they land here, these rebels will capture this major city and cause there to be a fallback right here. So I'm gonna swap the color again. So this land is returned to the Celts, but the Netherlands is actually struggling quite a bit. They're going to lose the city that they just got. They're a little scared now. The people are also a little scared. But in order to, just for the purpose of the country surviving, they're gonna try to round this off and get them to back up. So they will cut this country in half, and it'll trouble them a little bit, but still, the Irish, I'm just gonna start calling them the Irish. The Irish will still be supporting Welsh people, and eventually, even though that's happening, it will be knocked back, and the Welsh will have to deal with up there. Anyway, over here, the Irish are being attacked, and they lose. Actually, not like a lose it, but it's going to grind down very slowly to the point where it's just casualties. Over here, a very dangerous landing will arrive in Ireland and start to move around and get this major city. One will also spring up here. One will also spring up right here. One will also spring up here. And actually, these are gonna start to connect up and take these major cities. And well, the Irish are so scared at this point that they pull all their troops out of Wales and come here to fight. So they're gonna start to push back and fight back against them. And right here, we can see that this has all been pushed out. Oops, not there. So they slowly push this out, and after they will get this area back. But still, this is not turning out well for them. But as the Dutch move because they're being very, very aggressive in their attack over here, what's gonna happen is they're going to leave this front slightly more undefended, and is going to cause them to have threat of losing major cities. And well, this is not good because the Welsh are climbing towards these major cities and take this one, come down here, take this one. I'll keep calling them Danish. The Dutch off from this area, and they're going to start to circle in and take this spot over. Now, literally half of this England province thing is Welsh, and guess what? It's not stopping there, because the Welsh will encircle this city, take it, and then take the Isle of Man. And at this point, the Dutch are really, really starting to panic, and they just want to win this war already. So what's gonna happen is that Irish will start to push back because the Dutch will start to leave their positions and then stop back here. So now it's a united front, and they can push against these Welsh people. And well, they're gonna start making landings in order to repel these guys right here, right here, right here. And the Welsh are having a bit of a hard time, and we are going to step away from this conflict for a bit. Coming over to these guys. These guys are going to be the second people that I actually consider colonizers, because what they're going to do, we have to find a color for this. Oh, I like this one. What they are going to do is send off some boats to explore, and basically they're going to find this area of China right here. Somehow they didn't discover Taiwan while doing this. Not sure how they did that. It's pretty weird that they were able to do that somehow, but they actually still haven't discovered Taiwan in all of their discovery. So they're going to start exploring very quickly. They're shocked that this is the case, and they're starting to move up pretty fast. Also, these countries are starting to get a bit old, so yeah. Now, once this area is established, these guys are, of course, going to start to colonize it. And colonize it, they will. And colonize it heavily, they will. They're going to actually fill all of this area that they explored and start to explore rapidly, wrapping all the way around here, down here, and spreading across this whole area. So this exploration will do one more round all the way here. Like, they'll get down here. They're going to discover this island, just this island. Immediately, though, something will happen. There is going to be a group of people that appear right here and decide that they want to have their own country, and they're gonna take over these island colonies that had been formed. And well, these guys are like, we don't really care. it's just a couple colonies, but that's not really the case. Actually gonna end up happening is that a hope that to join this country will arise here, and it'll actually lead to this country invading kind of the colony, and also having some rebels like jump into this conflict with them. So surprisingly, even though, what do I even call these guys? Moluccans? Vietnamese? Thai? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna call them Indonesian. These Indonesians are going to be like, wait, what is happening? And they're actually gonna take these islands back. But Chinese rebellion is a bit too strong, and it's actually causing a bit of trouble. And at this point, the Indonesians, the gold team, will start being pushed back again. And well, this is not turning out well at all. The islands are going to be retaken over, but right as these guys thought they could win by hitting with a naval invasion, they strike with a large counteroffensive that actually is going to hurt these island rebels pretty badly. And this war is starting to grind a bit, and well, it's becoming a little back and forth. There's going to be naval landings here, and then this island will be taken over, and that'll be used to spring back up here, which will cut both of these nations into two. Chinese rebels starts to fight back. Well, yet again, it's a very messy war. Right here, this island, actually every other island will be occupied by a different nation. So for example, which is kind of funny, this island is controlled by the colonizers, this one's controlled by the Chinese, this one's controlled by the colonizers, this one's controlled by the Chinese, this one is controlled by the colonizers, this is the Chinese, and this one is for the colonizers. As you can see, this war is incredibly messy, and somehow these guys are on such an equal level, but suddenly there's not a newspaper, I wouldn't say, but there's like, I don't really know how to describe it, but a sentiment is spread throughout the entire Chinese country, and actually these colonized civilians saying and like thinking that they could be their own culture and their own country, and they should be separate, and that they are too different from these faraway colonizers. And basically what's going to happen is the colonizers will accept peace. Looking at this peace treaty, we can see that the colonizers have kind of been scammed. I mean, like, not scammed, but not as high up and strong as they were before, because before they had all of this land, and now they are only allowed to trade through this one tiny port. Anyway, the Chinese are back to expanding, and actually, what's gonna happen this time is the Indians over here will buy this entire area down here for free trade with these Chinese and for trade with the Indonesians. Even though they can just trade through here, they also want to be able to trade like all over here. And well, people are starting to figure out that this area exists, and they're very excited to try to get some kind of land or some kind of real estate here. So what's gonna happen is that for like millions of currency, like millions, like very high amount of currency, the currency is, I'm gonna say they bought this for like hundreds of millions of US dollars. So like, it's a pretty good deal for all of this land and a pretty nice trading spot right here. It's a pretty good deal. And well, the Chinese are gonna stop selling land now, and they have a lot of money from the Indian. They have a lot of money now from this Indian investment, and it's going to allow them. Wow, there's still some random. Oh my god, there's so many like random little sparks of colonizer color. Anyway, they will continue to expand, and the Chinese are like believing right now that if they continue to expand, they will become very powerful. But they're not too wrong here, but they're pretty wrong, because expansion always destabilizes your nation. But right now they want to become big and strong like everyone else is in order to boost their economy yet again. They are going, if we go to this economic alliances, let's get the color and take a guess. Will they make their own alliance? I don't know who they would do that with. Their own economic alliance. Will they join the circle one, or will they join the square one? They're going to join the square alliance, which is literally the most sensible option because closest people. So the purple team is now happily a member of the alliance. Let's plop down their capital. Let's decide where to put it, away from all the noisy traders. Here. There you go. So this is their capital right there. And over here, I want to address another very important event. So what is going to happen is that this country will develop rockets. Not rockets, but they figure out that they can make like fireworks, kind of. And basically they start using it on prisoners, like people that are going to be sentenced, like death sentenced. They're using that to kill them. And it's pretty interesting, but they're not going to think of the fact that they could use it in war yet, which is a pity because they could be very strong. The Chinese are going to continue to discover this whole area and start to think that maybe it's a part of the rest of Asia, this area over here. But in reality, they're actually right. And people think that this nation is crazy for saying that, but they think that, and they're one of the few nations to think that. Anyway, Taiwan will, of course, be discovered. What were you guys expecting? If there's so much activity right here with ships and stuff, of course Taiwan is going to be discovered. Moving down here, actually, these Indonesians will make more discoveries of Java, and they're going to move over here and discover this island chain. They will also discover that Borneo exists, and to top off this exploration, they will take some of the land. And that will be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.